Hey, good morning. My name is Lori. Welcome to my channel. We are quilters. Today we are going to take a look at my last Iron Lady, a Singer class 15 sewing machine. Oh, there's my grand dog Nugget. That squirrel out front is teasing him mercilessly. Anyway, this is the last Iron Lady. And at the end of the video, I have a seasonal little blurb to share with you, some eye candy. Let's go. Here she is, my Singer Treadle machine, a gift from my mother-in-law, passing it on down. This machine was bought by my father-in-law right after they got married in 1964 for $25, and then it was passed on to me. My mother-in-law doesn't sew a lot. She bought it to do repairs. This is a very simple machine. Here is the bobbin and the serial number. Dates it to 1901. Somebody painted this machine copper. It was a bright blue at one point in its life. And when it was painted copper, I believe my mother-in-law was the one who added the lovely decals, the red and the black, and I love that little cherub. It has very fancy work on the end. It does have some pitting in the metal because of how it was stored, but, you know, looks pretty good for being over 100 years old. Here's another angle. And I love the iron base. I do understand why some people make these into tables, even though that makes me sad and breaks my heart. But I do love that iron base. Very, very decorative. And here I am starting to sew. This is where my day started to take a downturn. And I almost lost my mind. But it's okay. I found it again. So I'm sewing, and I noticed that the machine is making some odd noises as I'm going. You probably don't notice that they're odd noises, and it's doing weird things, like gathering up the fabric, and I'm pulling it through, and it's not going through easily. And oh, this is not making me happy, and I figured I'd let this footage in here so you could see that, you know, things don't always work as smoothly as they should. So I flip it over and, time to go to the book. So this is what I have. It's a rat's nest. So it's back to having its original problem. I love the sound of a sewing machine. So you can't see the 2-hour break I took to fix the belt because it needed to be shortened because it had dried out and was slipping. And I had to readjust the timing. I didn't use this machine for the first couple years I had it because I had no idea how to adjust the timing. But with the help of that book, I know that 1/8 of an inch or less makes a world of difference in that shuttle. So, whew, here we go. I used the dark fabric so you'd be able to see the stitches a little bit better. My grandmother would have loved this fabric. She loved bright colors. She would have made that into throw pillows for her sofa. Here's another piece of practice fabric. Notice the pliers and the hammer. That's what you use to fix the belt. Here is the shuttle. That little thing that holds the shuttle is where the timing was off and needed to be adjusted. And here's looking down into the shuttle case. Let me show you how to
put a bobbin in this shuttle case. There was a description in the book. The directions are very basic. So in a normal round bobbin case, there's the tension spring. So to load this up, you keep your thread to the right, you put the hole to the left, you drop the bobbin in, you hold it down with your finger, and you put the thread in the slot till it comes back on the other side of the spring. And that's all there is to it. Now it's ready to go. And you use the little handle, lay it back in, and there it is, ready to go. Now this machine hits the case a little, so I have to tilt the head back just a little tiny bit. And you pull up your thread just like you do in a normal machine. Let me get the thread. You turn the hand wheel, and God willing, it'll come up. And it didn't that first time, so there it is. There you go. Ready to sew.
Here is my bag of reproduction bobbins. I bought them online years ago.
Here you can see I have a bobbin on the bobbin winder. I have pushed the belt back behind because normally you have the belt in front and the bobbin winder pushed out of your way. I have had to add a piece of fabric. A piece of felt also works here very well to keep the bobbin from just spinning and not doing anything as the bobbin winder turns. It comes down from the top of the machine through the bottom, and then as it winds, it threads it up and down nicely on the machine. And once I get my feet going in the right direction, you'll see how that winds that bobbin nicely from end to end. Once it gets working, it's very gratifying to watch. This is a new shiny reproduction bobbin. Let's move that screwdriver back out of the way.
What is the stitch regulator? Older singers have this. The one I have in my Michigan sewing room has this. The more you turn it in or out, it adjusts the length of your stitches. I'm going to treadle for you a little bit. I apologize for the earthquake type nature of the video. I put my feet side by side on this treadle pad, and the camera is attached to the top of the machine and leaning down, but you can hear that it gets going pretty well. This machine was a pretty basic model. There are no drawers, even though you could buy drawer units for it. It does have the flip down front, enough room to hold bobbins and some needles. And now for some seasonal footage, scrappy stockings. Here's the pattern. Somebody gave this to me with a gift card in it, and then I turned it into a cardboard pattern so I could make little stockings. Originally, I was going to make little stockings for my class. Here's the base that I used, a used dryer sheet. And here I foundation piece scraps onto a used dryer sheet. Here is the only one out of all of these that is finished. Embroidery and beads and an edge at the top, very cute. And here's another one. These are decorated. Let's just enjoy looking at some stockings. I plan to add more embellishments onto these before I finish them. I didn't make any pattern for how I added fabric scraps to these foundation dryer sheet pieces.